Hello again, everybody. Welcome to Good to Know Shreveport-Bossier. This is a podcast showcasing all the good things happening in our community. My name is Jeff Beinfor, and this is Paul Reeser. He's my co-host. He's a member of the Committee of 100, part of the board of there, and former owner of all the Sonic restaurants you've ever seen around the Shreveport-Bossier area. And he's sold all of those now, and he's rich as can be. So we let him do this as a sideline.
Rich in happiness.
Yeah, we focus on economic development on this podcast and economic growth, all the good things and initiatives going on around our community. And we have new episodes every other Wednesday, and you can find Good to Know wherever you listen to podcasts, with the video version available at ktbs.com. We have a very special guest today. Paul, do the honors and take away the introduction.
Well, thank you very much, because I'm excited about today's, well, I'm always excited, but this is an especially prestigious, I would say, guest today. I know, Jeff, you're always surprised when I'm able to get someone prestigious on, but
I don't think I'll have any connections to this one today. I always do. All of our guests is a hidden connection, but I don't think today.
I think you may be surprised. So our guest today is Bill Bailey, and he is the CEO of Radiance Technologies. Now, everybody's heard of Radiance Technologies because they sponsor the Independence Bowl, but it's a technology and independent and engineering firm. And not only are they sponsoring the Independence Bowl, but they're also opening an office here in Shreveport, which is exciting. So Bill Bailey, welcome to our program.
Thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure talking about my two favorite subjects, Louisiana and Radiance Technologies. So
well, and that's one, people think, well, this guy's got offices all over the country. Why would he come to Shreveport? So it's really interesting. You have a close connection with Shreveport, even though you're from Alabama. So could you tell us why you have this affection for North Louisiana?
Well, I grew up in Alabama, but my wife and I, my high school sweetheart, we got married when we were 17. So I came to Louisiana in December of 1979. I was 17 years old, had a wife, baby on the way, high school dropout, and had just joined the Air Force and was being assigned at Barksdale. So over the next 7.5 years, I had 3 children, continued to grow my career in the Air Force. The Air Force sent me to Louisiana Tech for 2.5 years to get an engineering degree. And so then I left Shreveport-Bossier after 7.5 years with a much different storyline. I was well educated. I had the skills and stuff to basically take me where I'm at now, the CEO of a several $100 million corporation. So a lot of affection for Louisiana and Northwest Louisiana in particular.
Well, that's such a cool story, and I may regret this, but are you still married to the same lady?
Oh yeah, we've been married we got 4 more children since we've left.
Wow.
Man, it's just a great story to see just that accomplishment. 17, and what the Air Force did and what Louisiana Tech did and what you've done for yourself, but also you left Louisiana with this great engineering degree. And maybe that's part of why you're bringing this technology, all these jobs. Another thing I want to talk about. So you're opening an office right here in Shreveport, Louisiana. How many people are you going to be employing, and what type of jobs are you talking about bringing here?
Well, we got 3 people right now. We have had employees in Shreveport for a couple of years now, but we wanted to formalize having an office. So we went from couch surfing basically as a company to opening an office with the BRF. So we put a shingle out for all practical purposes. Now, so we're supporting Global Strike, but we're also looking at bringing some other work to Shreveport. So the jobs we're looking at are research and development, engineering jobs. And we think we'll bring about 150 jobs to the North Louisiana area over the next 3 years or so.
Well, I do know your song, Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey? Right? I mean, come on. You've never heard that before, right?
No. I tell people all the time, you age yourself by telling me you know that song.
Yeah, thank you. I'm about 3.
What is that song?
Understands that.
You've never heard this song? Won't you come home, Bill Bailey?
I've heard it.
Won't you come home? Come on.
So you talk about why are we doing this? Hey, look, we're scattered all over. I guess we could park this office anywhere we wanted to.
Right.
But at the end of the day, guys, when I got out of the service, so you heard the story. I enlisted when I was 17. I moved around. We went from Shreveport to Tech to Wright-Patterson, Ohio, to Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then the wall came down. Then the family and I decided to get out of the service and put down roots somewhere. Now, at the time, we owned a house in Bossier City, so it would have been easy for us to move back to Bossier if there had been an robust engineering job market there.
Right.
And there was not. So we decided to move back to Alabama, move to Huntsville, which has a Redstone Arsenal, and plant our family there. And so at the end of the day, I want to help create an R&D engineering ecosystem around Shreveport, along with the BRF and Shreveport Bossier, so that other people that have high-tech degrees, if they look around one day and say, I want to move home to Shreveport, they can do that. They're not forced into making the decision not to move back to Shreveport because there's not a robust, viable job market.
That's true. There's a lot of the high-tech jobs that do leave Louisiana. We have great colleges, great schools, and then what you said yesterday, there's a brain drain. Basically, a lot of folks they go off to get these great jobs. So, could you tell us a little bit more about what Radiance technology does?
Yeah, we do engineering and research and development for the Department of Defense and the intelligence community. And so they just released two rankings, I guess, within the last 6 weeks. We're kind of proud of. First of all, we just hit one of the top 100 companies supporting the Department of Defense in the intelligence community.
Wow,
and there's
congratulations.
2,600 companies in this market space, and we're one of the top 100 now. So that happened this year. Now, another thing is within our business area, our business classification code, NAICS code, we are the second largest supporter of research and development efforts for the R&D, for the defense R&D community. So, we're not a small business in those spaces. And so we're moving back to Shreveport because there's a robust job market and there's people there. But what we do is basically three types of business. Nowadays, the common response we get when we go see new customers is Radiance. Are you the guys that sponsored the bowl game?
Nice.
So you kind of go in with the perception that you're not a small company, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and they've heard of you. So that's a nice deal. But hey, let me tell you how the way this works. So I talked to the previous sponsor about what I wanted, and they're like, hey, you'll get that in spades. So the week we made the announcement, which was not a whole week, the branding services, the people that monitor web searches, reported that Radiance became the 22nd most searched for brand in America that half week.
Wow.
The following week, which was the first full week we had been named the Independence Bowl sponsor, we were the third most searched for brand in America. So you got to figure, of all the web searches in the world looking for companies, that following week, Radiance Technology, this 1,000-person company out of Huntsville, Alabama, was the third most searched for brand in America. So it has hit all our wickets.
That is smart. It hits it's almost like the CEO of this engineering tech company is a smart guy.
Well, this engineer, he's a lucky guy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. But so obviously you're happy with this sponsorship. Do you see this becoming a real long-term thing? I know you just re-upped it for another year or two, but you see this lasting a long ways down the road?
No, I think it's very possible. Our board will have to approve that. We're in a 5-year contract. We'll have to renegotiate it. But I mean, it's like I've told Missy. At the end of the day, for years, people think about the Sugar Bowl and Allstate. Unless something goes wrong or unless somebody poo-poos the idea, I would love for it to be the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl for the rest of my life, to be honest.
Well, and most people do a two-year term. As long as I've been here, it's always a 2-year contract. And you guys jumped in with a 5-year, so that's exciting. That shows your commitment. So what are some things, it seemed like I saw in a press release that you said you are doing things to enhance the Independence Bowl and to help that. What are some things you're doing that are actually enhancing the bowl?
Well, and this was Frank Hour's idea, and Frank and Missy's pitched it to us, is we're doing the Radiance Technologies Innovation Bowl.
Right.
It's taking and inviting all the universities affiliated with the Independence Bowl to basically go to do some research on a socially significant issue, research topic. So we're doing the topic we've chosen this year is how can you use geospatial information to project weather type phenomenology. And so we put that out to all the universities, and there's a $25,000 prize for the university that wins this Innovation Bowl. Mm-hmm. So we put it out, and the universities will come up with a solution. And in December, they will pitch their solution to this topic, and we'll down select, I believe, a few universities, maybe 3. And then they'll go off and do the research, and then they will present their solution sometime in the end of the academic year. And then we will have judges, our CTO, Chief Technical Officer, some of our senior management, the Independence Bowl guys will select the winning project. And then those guys will get a $25,000. That university will get a $25,000 check from the Independence Bowl. So we're trying to do things to raise the profile and of the bowl game.
That's great.
Make it tied to innovation. We're an engineering company. We're a defense contractor, so the Independence Bowl is appropriate for a defense contractor. And then the Innovation Bowl is appropriate for a technology firm to sponsor as well.
Great ideas.
Talk a little bit about the weapons systems you were mentioned early on, and how you work with those. And I guess what you're trying to do is figure out ways so the other weapon systems can't defeat the U.S. weapon systems using technology. Can you, I mean, don't give away any secrets or anything, but kind of talk about how that works.
Oh, he was going to tell you all the secrets, Jeff.
I thought he might.
Yeah, so the way that kind of works, the example I use from the intelligence community is Rocket Man, the Korean guy. So when he lights the fuse on a rocket, there are people who look at that rocket. They call various means of collecting the data. And then people look at the data, various data sets from an engineering perspective, and they look at it and they say, okay, here's how it performed. Here's how this rocket performed compared to the last rocket he launched. Okay, and here's kind of an upgrade of technology. Was it more accurate? Was it more stable in its flight? Did it fly a longer trajectory? Did it malfunction? If it malfunctioned, what malfunctioned? So that gives you an idea. Same thing with like a new fighter. If you see one, we do engineering studies to determine, is it more agile than the last fighter? Is it faster? Does it have more capability? Is it more resilient? Those kinds of things. So that give you guys kind of a high level of...
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I get some of the basics, but is there a concern, or is anybody catching up to the United States, or is there something we should be worried about?
Oh, yes. I mean, at the end of the day, they talk about near-peer competition nowadays, and they refer to China and Russia. And back in the Cold War days, Russia was our near-peer. But I would rephrase that as absolute peer competition. China is as good as we are in most areas and better than us in some. So the focus on enhancing our technology, better understanding their capabilities and technologies is definitely at a premium right now. We're out of the insurgent war, the war on terrorism, and we've got a real enemy nowadays, and he's capable. He's very capable. Now, you make an argument during the Cold War, the Russians had large numbers, but they didn't have our capabilities. That's not the case with China.
That's kind of scary, Bill.
It is. Hey, we're living in a different world. It's not near peer; it's absolute peer. True peer.
Wow. So it's a constant.
In some cases, we may be the near peer.
Wow. That's why we need companies like yours, right? To keep America on top in this, I guess you could call it an arms race.
Well, yes, sir, it is. We're in a, world changes, and we're in a position we've never been in before, to where we are very much threatened.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I tried to go on a happy note with the Independence
Well, I mean,
Bowl,
it's a
Jeff.
little sobering, but I
Way
mean,
to
this
bring
is
it-
stuff
no,
we
it
need
is-
to know.
it
I
is
mean, for
true.
heaven's sakes.
Absolutely.
All right, let's bring it back around, back to Shreveport Bossier and all the things that you're going to do here. You're going to put new offices in. You're going to hire a bunch of people. You're going to continue your sponsorship with the Independence Bowl, and obviously this place is really near and dear to your heart.
Oh, absolutely. I come back a lot. I've come back to Ruston. I often come back to Shreveport. So I bring my kids back to Shreveport. Like I said, 3 of my kids were born in Shreveport at Barksdale Air Force Base Hospital. The 4 that we've adopted, I bring them back because that's part of the family legacy, right? And because of Shreveport Bossier, because of Louisiana Tech, these kids enjoy a lifestyle that we may not have been able to provide them had we not been there. Look, I tell people all the time, I learned a lot. I learned most of what I needed to succeed in life while I was at Barksdale and at Tech. I learned what excellence looks like. I learned how to achieve it. I learned how to sustain it. I can't say enough about all the goodness that Shreveport, Bossier, Barksdale, and North Louisiana has brought into my life and my family's life. So it's near and dear to our heart.
Well, that's exciting. And like I say, it's a great story. I love the story, and it's truth. And I love you being such an advocate for Shreveport and coming back. What are some things that local people can do if they're interested in maybe coming to work for you, or is there anything you want folks locally here to know about, how they can get involved with your company or the Independence Bowl?
I keep watching our website for jobs because we're posting jobs for the Shreveport Bossier area.
Is that radiancetechnology.com or?
Radiancetech.com, RADIANCETECH.com. And, hey, look, we're coming. We're gonna create jobs. Like I told Mr. Pearson earlier this year, we were talking about various ways the state can help. Which, by the way, I want you guys to know, there is not a doubt in my mind that Radiance is wanted in Shreveport, Bossier, North Louisiana.
Good.
The mayor have made that well known. The chambers of commerce have made that well known. LSUS, Bossier Parish Community College. It is heartwarming when I come back there and talk to people about economic development and how welcoming you guys are and how accommodating you guys are. So, you guys are top notch when it comes to showing people you want them in Shreveport, Bossier.
Awesome.
And so it'll be, like I told Mr. Pearson, when he was talking about ways to help do this, I'm like, we're going to do this. It's just a matter if it takes 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, we're going to do this. And he's like, well, hey, Bill, we're here to help you do it as quickly as possible. So,
that is encouraging. So Shreveport Bossier has been good to do business with.
Absolutely. They most certainly are.
Fantastic.
And you mentioned earlier, you said there's people here, and I know what you meant by that was that there's a good workforce to draw from. And what are you looking for from your workforce?
We're looking for, well, first of all, we're an employee-owned company. So at the end of the day, we're looking for people who want skin in the game, who want to work for a company, they want to own the company, and they want to act like owners, okay? We have very generous benefits package. Everybody owns stock in the company. Everybody will own stock in the company. And so we're looking for people who want more than just a job. We're looking for people who want a career and want to be impactful to the overall company.
I'm sure with those kind of parameters, you have a pretty enthusiastic workforce already, right?
Oh, yeah. We did a study last year. I get all these national studies that say, the culture's good, the employees are happy, and I see those stuff, and I break the data down. And I usually get about 200 employees respond. So last year, I hired an independent agency to do a survey of Radiance employees. Gave them all 950 of our employees contact information, and they went out and collected the data. Got a hold of 600 employees, and they came back and said, "Hey, Bill. At the end of the day, 97% of your employees are satisfied or highly satisfied with Radiance." And then
Wow.
they said, at the end of the day, we've never seen numbers like that before. We have a culture that is just second to none.
That is absolutely huge. I mean,
employee ownership.
Workforce across America is probably 27% engaged and satisfied in their work. So I mean, you think I'm being sarcastic, but that's the real number. Most people are not happy with their jobs. So at 97%, and I think a lot of that has to do with the employee-owned business. That's a great idea. You're not a publicly owned company. You're privately owned, and it's owned by the people working there. So everyone's pulling together to make that company
Absolutely.
great and profitable. That's exciting.
We play the long game. Okay.
Right.
We can be very strategic in our developing our business plans. We got to make money. I mean, you've been in business. You got to make money.
You got to make money.
You have to maximize making money. We do things like we've got a division called Radiance University, and we spend a lot of time and energy in investing in our employees, training our employees, educating our employees, and so. We're able to we make money, we grow the stock price, but we're able to play the very long game, be able to sustain our business, grow it at a reasonable rate, but not at a growth at all costs kind of mentality.
Well, you mentioned making money. Obviously, that's the aim of most businesses. But what are you concerned about? What's going on with the economy right now?
Oh, yeah. Anybody I think's running a business is concerned about the economy right now. Cost of credit's going up. We're having to raise salaries by a substantial amount because of inflation. So at the end of the day, we talk about the near peer thing, and we got a real enemy. And I wonder how much the economy is going to restrict our ability to actually be able to do the things we need to do to counter that threat. Because you just, money don't grow on trees, and you just can't print it. You just can't print it and just say, oh, we're going to spend more money and we're just going to create money. We see what's happening, partially the inflation problems, because we've been creating too much money.
Right.
So, yeah, we're concerned. But at the end of the day, I feel like we're diversified enough. We're in the right market spaces. And so Radiance will be good. We may be dampened in our ability to grow, but we'll continue to grow, and we will continue to be financially solid. Look, we're a very conservatively run company. Mm-hmm. Moving into Shreveport Bossier. Okay, we've done the analysis. We know there's a good business reason for us to be there.
Right.
Well, I think I'll just go ahead and speak for the entire community and say we're glad you're here. We're glad you're coming. And you've already done some great things for the community. It looks like you're getting ready to do a whole bunch more.
Yeah, very exciting.
We love Shreveport. That's all Shreveport Bossier, Barksdale. I was on Barksdale not too long ago. And, it just warms the cockles of my heart every time I wind up on that base, because it's just like deja vu all over again, right?
Man, what a great
I'm a little bit older and
American
hopefully a little bit
success
wiser.
Yeah.
A little older and a little wiser.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. All right, Bill, thanks for being with us today. We're going to call it a wrap on this one, but very eye-opening. There was some really good information in this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you.
All right, Bill Bailey from Radiance Technologies, and man, he is going to be a great corporate citizen for this community, huh? Mm-hmm. Good things going on.
I told you you'd be excited with today's
guest.
Yes,
there was a lot of really good information in there. All right, we thank him for being here. We thank you for joining us for this podcast of Good to Know Shreveport Bossier, brought to you by the Committee of 100. And of course, KTBS TV. Remember to tell everybody about this podcast. We'll have new content every other Wednesday as we talk about all kinds of good things and economic development and positive initiatives going on in our community. For Paul Reeser, I'm Jeff Byfor. Thanks for being with us, everybody. And of course, as always, everything you heard today is good to know. Have a good one.